Dean, how are we doing?
I'm good. I'm good.
So technically the title's now for Dean Blandino.
Fox Sports football rules analyst.
Rules analyst.
Rules analyst.
Well, I see you on TV constantly. Is it any surprises getting into the media game for the first part? Just out of curiosity, because I used to play baseball as a player, and now I'm on the other side of all this. First time you went on camera, was it all natural and easy to rock and roll?
Well, I had the benefit of when I was at the league office, I did some segments on the NFL Network. So I had those reps going in. But the biggest surprise for me going over to Fox and doing the games live was just you don't have a lot of time. You've got like play happens. You might get one look at it. You got to get in and get out. You might have about 8 or 9 seconds to explain it. And that's been the biggest challenge. It's just the timing of it.
The timing of it all?
Yeah.
Well, and also the next question is, how does one get into the officiating space?
Everybody's a little bit different. My path was unique in that I never officiated on the field. It wasn't something that I did growing up. I played sports, wanted to be involved in sports, got out of school, sent my resume to the NFL, Major League Baseball. I wanted to be a professional baseball player as a kid.
Oh, you did?
And then, that was always my first love. But that wasn't going to happen. So I wanted to stay involved in sports. And the NFL called, had a couple of internships available. Yeah. One was in officiating, and I got the officiating internship, and that was kind of the springboard.
So it took you away from being a baseball player.
Took me away from being a pitcher, first baseman.
Hey, that was me.
That was I hit like 360 my senior year, which wasn't quite going to get me drafted, but I thought it was a good year.
Oh, hell yeah. It was a great year. Yeah. So, I mean, where would you grow up? Where was home for you?
Home was Long Island in New York.
Okay, so you're a New York guy. So baseball-wise, so for me, I don't hide from it. Ripken, it's kind of hard to miss on the name part, from Baltimore. Whether I liked baseball or not, I was going to be intertwined.
You were going to be in it, yeah.
But
exactly.
I played first primarily for the majority of my career. A little bit of outfield. They didn't trust me as an outfielder, I guess. I'm not built for speed either. I don't know. So profile for you, you would say all-around hitter, power guy.
Pretty good all-around hitter. I don't know about power. Not bad. I'm not gonna hit 50 home runs, but pretty good. I had a pretty good arm on the mound. But I just didn't. I threw hard, but I couldn't locate. I didn't have any real secondary pitches, so. It was a struggle. It was definitely
we'll have
to
work on, we could talk about the baseball side of it. And anytime you're in Baltimore and you want to come see the O's player, things happen, I can try to get your contact. We might know a person or two that can help out in that situation.
Exactly.
Out of curiosity, because baseball, I was there in the minors when they started with the robotic umpires and they're trying to decide in the major league level what to do. Football, I think they've made a lot of gains. But I think the more controversial recently is on the short yardage or picking up the first down. What's your thoughts on that specifically? Because that was even in the Bills Chiefs game. Yeah. Did Josh Allen reach the line to gain? Where was the spot before with Dalton Kincaid? And it's the judgment call. But where do you think the NFL is, and where do you think, or do we see ourselves getting to that point here in the next couple of years?
I know they're testing the technology. They have chips in the football, but to me, and look, this is the challenge. People say, well, it's like tennis, right? You've got, they can do it on tennis. Why can't you do it in football? Well, tennis is the ball on the line. Football, you might have bodies in the way. You've got not just the ball on the line, but when was the knee down, or when did the official rule forward progress? So you have these other factors you have to consider. So I don't think it's impossible. I think you're going to have to continue to build out that technology, test it. And we'll see. We'll see where it is in a couple of years. But there is other factors in terms of not just where the ball is, but when that moment in time, whether it's, like I said, the knee or the foot being out of bounds, that's another thing you have to consider.
And I do want to point out, I know when it's judgment calls, like if there's a personal foul, face mask, they're judgment calls. So for me, I'm like, hey, if it's missed, I know that can be frustrating for a team, especially if it's your team. I get it. But that's going to happen. It just seems like on those, if you're able to structure it more, it would take pressure off of the official crews, because I do feel bad in that case, because if they do make the quote unquote wrong spot, It's a lose-lose situation.
Yeah, and that was a play. Like, look, in the AFC Championship game, whatever they ruled on the field, you weren't going to be able to overturn it. It's that close, and that's a tough spotting the football. And it's not an exact science, right?
Yeah.
The officials trailing the play, they have to get the best spot that they can possibly get, and then a lot of times it goes to review, and sometimes if you don't have the right angle, but I think it is like whatever sport it is, we've got to accept there is a human element to it, right?
Yep.
And that's part of the what we accept as sports. Now, do you want to eliminate mistakes? Sure, you want to mitigate those things, but there is that human element, and I don't think we want to go eliminate that altogether.
I agree. I think the human side makes it, for better or for worse at times, it gives it the experience.
Yeah.
Can I ask you, do you have any time most stressful situation you've had to really look at again through all your years where you sat there and you went, holy shirts and pants, man? I'm sitting here. And I know I'm going to have to do this. And after the fact, you're like, man, that sucked. That was
well,
tough.
yeah, there have been some plays. I mean, the one play that I was involved in that was probably the most controversial play that I know the people in Dallas love me for was the Des Bryant play against the Packers.
Yeah.
And that play happened, and I'm in the command center in New York. And as soon as it happened, I'm watching the sideline where Mike McCarthy was the Packers coach at the time. And I'm watching McCarthy, and I'm in my back of my mind, I'm going, please don't throw this challenge flag, because I knew it was going to be controversial either way. And then he throws the flag, and I'm pretty sure in the room I said, like, the what's going to hit the fan on this one, because this is going to be controversial. And the call itself wasn't difficult based on the rule, but I knew the fallout was going to be going to be intense, because it was the playoffs, it was the Packers Cowboys, it was a critical situation. But yeah, sometimes there are those plays where you go, man, this is a tough one.
Yeah, well, that was the divisional, right?
That was a divisional game.
So that could have helped the Cowboys, get to an NFC championship game.
Which now is like the thing.
They're the only team that haven't been to the NFC championship
now with the
game
Commanders going.
Decades.
Yeah, exactly.
So Dean, right there, like Cowboy Nation, is just sitting there going, "Man, it's on Dean."
That's exactly right. But let's not forget that even if he scores, right?
Yes.
There's 4 minutes left,
There's
and Aaron Rodgers has the ball. Okay, so it's not over at that point. But hey, who knows what would happen?
So what we're hearing was the Cowboys didn't go because of Dean. That's how it's being viewed.
Exactly.
But that's the reality. That, like, we laugh about it because I hate that that's always what the focus has to be. That was how the rule is.
Yeah.
And there's also a lot of other plays that could have happened here that could have transpired. And Aaron Rodgers is, especially at that time, top of the game, elite of the elite.
Good. Yeah,
pretty good. They probably would have won that game. But people need people to have the what if moments. Team that keeps the hope, 100%. Keeps people alive.
Yeah, that call prevented the Cowboys from not only getting to the Super Bowl but winning the Super Bowl. That's the narrative a lot of Cowboy fans have come at me with, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah, well, it's even like in I look at it last year when the Ravens played the Chiefs in the AFC Championship. Woof, tough.
Yeah.
But the fumble at the goal line for Zay. But then the reason why I bring that up is Isaiah Likely. Everyone's go, pass interference. Lamar threw the pick. 3 guys. I'm like, well, there was the fumble. Didn't score a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one play, but there were so many other things that could factor into it. So that's why.
Look, officiating's part of it, and it has an impact. But like it said, very rarely have I seen a call in the one that, the New Orleans Rams, the championship game, where you could say that call decided the game. But other than that, it's like there's so many other things that happen throughout a game, and it's just one part of it.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's in that situation, especially, and that's a judgment call. Like a pass interference call is a judgment call, especially, was it 2 years that they had the rule? 1 year.
1 year.
Where you can challenge it.
Yeah.
But that's also, it's a judgment. And when you slow things down, everything can look like a pass interference.
Yeah, it looks different in real time versus slow motion.
Is there anything you specifically, and I'll let you go then. I don't know what your schedule, but I don't want to take up too much of your time. I'd love to talk to you more about the baseball pros and cons, because we could probably share stories about how infuriated you are. And if you want to hear any baffling stories with me and how many bats I broke in a game, be glad to share that with you.
Sure.
But I was going to say where was I going with this, Brad?
Anything that I'm trying to think where we were.
Yeah, I got distracted with my own baseball. Judgment calls.
PI.
Oh, there we go. We're back now, Dean. We're back.
Good.
If there's something you wanted to see, like moving forward, that you think would be very beneficial with the game, especially in the officiating space.
For me, I think it's the transparency part. I think we have these conspiracy theories and people don't. I think if you could pull back the curtain and let people hear what's going on, listen to the replay process,
Yeah.
then I think people would come away with a better understanding and would have a better, they might not always agree,
Yeah.
but I think it helps, kind of dispel some of these things that, the officials, they favor this team or that team. So I think it's giving people a better look at what goes into it, letting them listen in. And I think that would help. I think that would help the whole narrative around officiating.
Yeah. People want to just hear out in the open. I like that a lot. Just saying, hey, this was the thought process. This is why we did it.
Yeah.
Because right after the game, people are waiting for the words from the official or the transcript after.
Yeah, the pool report. Yeah.
The pool report. That's the word. I like that, Dean.
Yeah.
I'm for this. I would tune in to hear Dean Blandino talk about it after all the time.
Let's do it.
And I'm also here we also figured out what happened with the Cowboys and Packers. So Dean,
we're solving a lot of problems.
I appreciate it. Anything else that you want to let people know that you're up to?
No, just tune in. Obviously, the game on Fox, and we're excited. It should be hopefully we're not talking about the officials on Monday. That's the goal.
Did you? Yeah, I hope not. I hope not for your sake, because you seem like a great guy.
It's going to be a busy Monday if that's the case.
I can't wait. I might shoot a message to you on social media and be like, thinking of you today.
Yeah, please.
At
please
Dean
do.
Blandino. Did you make the putt, by the way? Did you putt?
I did. I made the putt.
You did?
I made the putt.
So you're helping our community out here.
Yeah. Mike's was a little controversial.
I think I heard Mike. And when you hear someone,
it hit his other ball and then kind of dribbled along.
So it counts.
I don't know.
It
broke the plane.
So
it did break the plane.
So that was a tush push then, technically.
Yeah, he did have a tush. Yeah, it was a tush push. So,
yeah, okay.
Which is still legal, by the way.
It's still legal. Should it still be legal?
No, get rid of it. I'm over it. I'm over the tush push.
Well,
I'm over it.
Yeah, especially at the one. Well, hey, Dean, I appreciate you taking the time.
You got
man.
it. Appreciate
We'll
it.
Talk more about baseball in the future.
Yeah,
all right?
sounds good.
Thank you.
All right, man.